everyone. My name is Emily Vicente and here's my point of view about the topic. So first is, why do you think the curriculum had to change after the pandemic? Do you agree with the changes? Why or why not? The curriculum had to change after the pandemic to adapt to the challenges of learning and ensure that students continue to learn. The shift to flexible learning, modular, and online platforms allowed students to continue even when social distancing measures in place. So that was in pandemic. I agree with the changes because they are necessary for ensuring that students can learn in difficult circumstances. And I also think that the implementation of those changes should be carefully monitored to ensure that no student is left behind. We face the challenges and overcome the barriers of education during pandemic. This time, this new innovation in education system, we can continue it to innovate to keep up the pace of the changing world. Now, what learning style worked best for you during the pandemic? How will you use that in your future classroom? For me, during the pandemic, I found that a blended learning approach worked best. It allows flexibility in terms of time management and access to resources, and there is an opportunity for interaction with my teachers and my classmates. In my future classroom, I would incorporate a blended learning approach or model that will allow both independent learning through online modules and direct interaction through virtual or face-to-face session. In consideration to those who don't have internet access, a hard copy of module and schedule of home visitation for a group of students will do. Next is, if you were teaching in a place with weak internet and few gadgets, how would you help your students learn using the new curriculum? Well, in that situation, I would rely on offline resources like printed modules, textbooks, and activity sheets. The hard copies, like I have mentioned earlier, I would also encourage peer learning where students can collaborate in small groups and explore community-based learning where students can meet in safe places to share resources and lessons. Making learning interactive and hands-on learning is important, right? Number 4, how can you take care of your students' mental health and emotions as a future teacher? Give at least one specific way. For me, one specific way to support students' mental health is by creating a safe and inclusive space for them to express their feelings. This could be through open communication, like in the time of feedbacking, or a one-on-one communication with a sensitive student. Also, we can have a suggestion and query box or an online consultation so that everyone can share about themselves in an inclusive manner. Well, all in all, the very first thing to do as a teacher, you have to be familiar with your students' behavior. And that way, you can find the appropriate way of taking care of your students' health and emotion, considering their diverse needs and situation. What are the good and bad sides of using digital tools like Zoom or Google Classroom? How can you make sure all your students can access them? For the good side, digital tools like Zoom and Google Classrooms allow for flexible learning, easy communication, and access to a variety of online resources. Also, it gives the high possibilities for students to attend classes and submit assignments. The students will also have a track on their tasks, specifically in Google Classroom, since announcements of tasks, instructions, and deadlines can be posted. It will also help the students to be able to collaborate with their peers in their own pace. However, for the bad side, we can encounter technical difficulties, poor internet connectivity, and lack of access to devices for some students. We all know not all households have gadgets and internet access. To ensure all students can access these tools, I would provide alternative solutions like printed materials for those who can't access the internet. Also, we can communicate to the local government in the community like the BLGU to help the learners access internet or extend a digital literacy program for the learners in their area. Next is, why is it important for teachers to understand laws like RA 10533 and DepEd's BALCP? How do this support changes or support curriculum changes? Understanding laws like RA 10533 and DepEd's BALCP is important because they outline the educational framework and ensure that the curriculum aligns with national goals. RA 10533, for example, emphasizes the need for a more relevant and responsive curriculum, while the BLCP focuses on adapting education to fit the needs of students in the context of the pandemic. These laws guide the implementation of new curriculum. New curriculum strategies ensuring that they are legal and aligns with national education standards, community needs, and can adapt to changes to ensure that learners will be able to learn effectively, equip them with specific skills and needs they can use in everyday life. And through understanding these laws, the educators will always find a way for learning to sustain in whatever challenges that will come in the future. The last one, how will you teach both academic lessons and life skills like problem solving and communication at the same time in your class? Well, I will integrate life skills into academic lessons by incorporating real life scenarios prior to their diverse backgrounds to the lesson. In that way, it will promote critical thinking, collaboration, and communication. For instance, a group projects about livelihood where they can portray the life they have in their community like farming, entrepreneur, fishing, handicrafts, and others. It could be in a form of trade fairs or expo. Students can practice problem solving and teamwork while also working on the subject matter. In this way, the importance of values like resilience and adaptability, which are essential life skills, will be emphasized. That's all for today. Thank you and good afternoon.